everybody. This is Joe Larson, and you're watching the 505 on Racing Show. To my left, you're right. Dave Brigat. Welcome.
Thanks for having me tonight.
You know, you're a busy guy, and it's tough to get connected, but I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come down and talk to the group and chat with us.
Yeah, it's great to be down here to talk to you.
It's always. I know you a long time. You know, it's funny. I don't remember when I first met you, but it's got to be close to 20 years.
Definitely 20 years.
Definitely 20 years.
It's been too long.
How long you know, Joe? Too long.
Too long.
Now, Dave, the big question that everybody has is that we need to determine what is Dave doing in 2014.
I can't let the cat out of the bag already.
Right from the get-go, because they want to know.
Everybody wants to know. Maybe we'll find out after Florida, after Daytona.
There you go, for sure, definitely.
You will definitely know after Daytona.
Because there's a lot of things going on with racing for Dave in 2014. You got a couple of irons in the fire, got a couple of deals in the works, but you are going to Florida.
We're definitely going to Daytona, and then after that, we're probably going to go down to Caraway and run some Southern shows, and
right.
I'm sure we're going to show up at Icebreaker.
All right, now, when you say you're going to Daytona, is it a Dave Brigat car or is it somebody else's car?
It's David Hill's car.
David Hill, Hillbilly Racing, number 79. An excellent organization. I've known the Hills for a long time. The late Roger Hill is the patriarch of that organization. And then Mom took over, and now it's David's bag.
Yes, definitely. And we met up. We've been doing a lot of talking back and forth. And I took a ride down there, met with everybody. And beautiful shop, great equipment, tons of experience working on the car. And he's definitely got everything it takes to run up front. And
he does. And you know, it's funny. I've been involved with the tour 12 years, 13 years as an official, and he always had immaculate equipment, always had competitive drivers, and he had a second car there for a while where Fred Vordermeyer was kind of filling in for, but it just seems whoever gets in his race cars goes out and does very well, and you should be no different.
Well, you got to give me all that pressure, Joe.
Because I'm a pressure type guy, you know.
That's all right. I can deal with it. But yeah, definitely, whoever's been in it's definitely been fast. And look at Pit Cat last year. And
yeah.
All those guys, and I remember I was running the Southern Tour, and I think Corey LaJoy was running the car down Atlanta. He won, and then 2 weeks later, then Savali won in the car, and yeah, to be honest, I can't wait to get in it.
Yeah, it's an awesome opportunity, and opportunities like that, you know, they don't come easy.
Definitely not.
And you know, you got to work hard, and sometimes you got to spend a few bucks to make it happen. But that's part of this racing. Everybody thinks you just show up with a bag and you go racing.
I wish it was like that.
Oh, man. Well, I have a deal like that, but...
No. I'll never have it like that, but...
No. But, you know, 2014 for me is a breakout year as well. As everybody knows, I'll be running the Wade Cole car number 83. We officially got the number, 83. I got a call from the car owner just the other day, and I'm pretty excited because that's just one more step that...
That's good.
Towards it. We're not going to Daytona for a couple of reasons. One, it's not a point race.
Yeah.
And when you're running on a limited basis and a limited budget, what you have to do is you got to pick and choose. And there's no points involved, and there's no sense worrying about it.
I'm doing a lot of worrying. I want to go now.
Yeah. I would love to go say I raced that Daytona.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen this year, and hopefully we'll see what happens next year.
There you go.
You know, it's funny. I was telling somebody just the other day, looking back, when I first got on the tour. I was a part-time guy in 2002 and full-time in 2003. There weren't a lot of Long Islanders on the tour.
No.
Tom Baldwin, and that was it.
Now, look how many.
Now it's more than a third of the field is Long Islanders.
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to?
I don't know. To be honest with you, and look how much talent's on Long Island.
Right.
And, you know, Riverhead, you know, pretty much made all of them.
Yeah.
And the go-karts, they all came up to the go-karts.
I was going to talk about the go-karts later, but being that you brought it up, there's a lot of talent comes out of go-karts that want modified racing.
Yes.
Some went to the tour, some went south, some went, you know, to other things, but some are racing modifieds. And
Yeah.
It's, you know, I was involved with the go-karts, as you know, for quite a few years, and had a ball. Met a lot of nice people. Met some not nice people, but you know what? That's in all walks of life. But
definitely.
The memories that you have and the things. My kids still talk about going go-kart racing.
Yeah. Well, it's a good family day, you know.
It is.
8 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. You
On
hang
a
out
Sunday?
all day, you have fun on a Sunday. Exactly.
After racing all Saturday night.
Yeah, no fighting, no arguing. It's
No.
always a clean day.
It always is, and like you said, you know, it's funny. My dad hated racing. When he passed away, one of the last things he said is, "I think I missed the boat on this racing thing," and he hated racing, and it just was a waste of time, waste of money, waste of energy. There's more thing you could be mowing the lawn on Saturday afternoon, as far as he was concerned. And it was a Mother's Day that my two brothers couldn't go. I mean, Father's Day. My two brothers couldn't go. My sister had other plans, and we had go-karts at Medford.
Yeah.
And I said to my mother, joking around, "If you want to see us, this is how you get there."
Yeah.
And she just kind of chuckled, and all of a sudden I saw them walk in. Now, I always had nice stuff, and I had an enclosed trailer for go-karts because we had so many.
Oh, yeah.
And they came in, and my dad was very impressed with that, but he was more impressed with, as you said, the family
Definitely.
atmosphere.
Yes.
The mothers, the fathers, the brothers, the sisters, the aunts, uncles, nieces, and nephews, and how we did that. And what I see now from those guys and gals who've come through the ranks, whether it was the East End or now it's Eastern
Yep.
ERA, is that what you're now?
Exactly.
You see those families now as they're moving up still together.
Yes.
You know, and that's important today. When today families just don't do that.
Well, where can you really go? You know, you take kids out to the movie in 3 hours and then, you know, lose concentration and you're
Right.
back in the car sleeping on the way home.
Exactly.
You go to the go-karts, we open up around 7 o'clock, and we pretty much race all day till about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Where are you going to spend all day with your child like that? You're not gonna.
You're not gonna.
And it's going to be a rough day, it's going to be a bad day, and it's going to be a great day.
Absolutely. And I experienced all of those. We had some great days, we had some not so
Yes.
great days. But when it was all done, said and done the season, you look back, you remember the good times.
Definitely.
You know, you get that little piece of, hardware, the little trophy. My kids, every trophy they ever had, first, second, and third, fourth,
Yep.
fifth, to them it meant a lot. To other
Yeah.
people, the people said, "Why do you have all those?" Because my kids' stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I miss that. I miss the go-kart days. I really do, because it was total fun. Not that tour racing is not going to be fun, because
No.
it became fun when I started helping Wade and his gang the second half of this past season, especially going down to Bristol with him. But it's racing to me is fun again.
Yeah. That's good. And
starting
even with the
to-
go-karts, it's a good stepping stone.
Absolutely.
For the kids, and then they go to the Bandoleros or a legend car, then into the stock cars, and I mean, you take the Salomitos. I mean, look what they've been doing when they came out of the go-karts.
Right out of go-karts, yeah,
And
yeah.
good ale, and
It's that's what it's all about.
definitely.
When you look at, like I said, when you look at what came out of the go-karts, I mean, Mercer Niederauer,
Tommy Rogers,
Jimmy Rogers, Mike Andrews when he was running well.
J.O. Bertuccio,
You know, yeah.
Kevin Orlando.
Yeah. I remember my kids racing with them back in,
Yeah.
in the late 1990s. You know, it seems like a lifetime ago. And I don't go to Riverhead a lot, but when I go, and I remember him from go-karts, he's driving a modified, and a Guglielmo, he was another one.
Yep.
that came
And
out.
Bondolillo.
I mean, yeah, all these kids, and they started in go-karts. And they're not playing games with the other supporters. They go
No.
right to modifieds.
I don't. It's incredible.
You know? And
But you got to remember how much seat time they're getting.
Right.
Usually we run 18 races, 17 races. So if a child starts at 5 years old and he races till he's 12, he's got, lots of experience around Riverhead.
Absolutely.
And in good situations,
And when, lap times, when I tell people that the go-karts are turning the same laps time-wise as a Charger car, they don't believe me.
You know.
That's
Without a
incredible.
problem.
Without a problem.
And we tested a Bandolero out there this year, and it was as fast as a a late model.
Was it?
It's just fast.
See, the Bandolero really is like a super speedway.
Yes, the Bandolero we're probably going to end up running them this year out there, and the Bandolero is it's great for the kids that are starting 8, 9 years old up to 12 or 13. I mean, you can run them up to however old you want.
Right.
But what a starter car. It's great, because it's got fenders.
Right.
We're going to learn how to rip them off.
Yeah, you get to lean on people.
Exactly.
8 wheels turn better than 4, that kind of stuff.
You get the dirty habits early.
The dirty habits. And as you know, you race Riverhead for a long time.
Yes.
You probably have thousands of laps there.
Yeah.
Do you get the bad habits at running the bull ring like that?
I think you definitely do. But when you leave there, you can handle yourself any racetrack. Because there's nothing that's going to happen that you haven't had happen there.
Right.
Like I thought, when we went down to Atlanta last year and we started in the back, we qualified horrible. And we just waited and waited and waited. And we finished 4th. And it was a dream compared to Riverhead. You got to remember, Riverhead, there's 22 cars. Any of those 22 cars can win. Go to any
Absolutely.
racetrack and tell me that.
Yeah. There's back markers, you know.
Exactly. Riverhead, it's hard.
On any given night, anybody can
win.
Anybody can
And, you
win.
know,
And you know, it's funny. The first time I went on a track that was of any size was Lee.
yeah.
And I can remember coming off the corner. And I only raced Riverhead, and Islip was a fifth.
Yeah.
And I can remember coming off the corner, I went, wow, I could look around.
Yeah. It's a whole different thing.
Oh, what a... And I didn't realize the speed until I looked to the right and saw the grandstand it was just a blur. And then I was like, whoa, I gotta get focused before I stuff this thing in a fence here. But, at Riverhead, it's 3 seconds on, 3 seconds off, 3 seconds on, and that's quick.
Yeah.
You're going the length of a football field, in
Yeah. Definitely.
2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. When you look at average speeds, like we have a guy here that gets on the chat room once in a while, and he says, why do I want to race where the average speed is 30 miles an hour? Yeah, but they're 90 at the end of the straightaway.
Yeah.
They don't understand.
It's true. And if it's so easy, come over here and try it at Riverhead because it's far from easy.
Exactly.
And you can see in time trials every week, you don't have the same top 6 every week. It's always revolving.
And in a lot of tour races at Riverhead, the difference between pole and home was 2-3 tenths.
Yeah. Not even.
Yeah.
It's always tight.
And that's a blip. That's a...
Yeah.
It's tough. It's not easy. So, Dave, a lot of people wonder, what got you into racing?
I tell you what, I was like maybe 14 or 15, and we always went to Freeport, me and my father, and he took me racing since I was 5 years old. And Freddie Harback was down in Huntington. We used to drive by the shop all the time and see him. We never came in, but we'd see him working on the car on Friday nights. So one Friday night, we walked in there, and it's been downhill since. We walked in there, and my father talked with him, and then I started working on the car, and it just took off from them. Him and my dad became great friends, and I worked for him about 2 or 3 years on a car, and I broke my leg on a quad. So then I sat in the stands that week, and I seen a car for sale, and that was it.
That was it.
That was, my father said it ruined me.
Wow. Now, when you first went into it, what did you first drive?
A Charger car.
You drove right to Chargers?
Yeah. I never drove a car in my life. My father, he's a typical guy. He didn't want his kids in no small cars, so we all had to have a truck, pickup.
Yeah.
I get in this car, I don't know, even never drove a stick before. It was just... But it was fun. We did well right away.
Okay.
But it was a learning experience.
Well, back then, it was like 30, 40 Charger cars.
Yeah.
It was tough to qualify.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely didn't qualify the first 5 shows.
Yeah.
But it was,
I remember when I first started ISIP, I didn't qualify the first 5 years. There was 60, 70 figure 8 cars. I'm like,
yeah.
I started 33rd in the Consi ones, and they took 2. Nah, I wasn't qualifying. So you did Chargers, and you did very well in the Chargers because you have a championship in the Chargers.
Yeah.
2000?
Yep.
I remember that very well. And the 1999 Rookie of the Year in the Chargers.
Yeah.
I was around for that as well.
Yeah.
I was there for quite a few of your wins and accomplishments.
Yeah, we did good in the Charger car after we figured it all out. And then, like I said, there was 30 or 35 showing up.
Yep.
You had Jack Orlando, Robin Volmole. You had both Turbishes, Roger and Danny. It wasn't easy.
No.
There was 15 cars going home every week. So it was,
and there were nights that the guys in the top 5 weren't making it.
yes. It was a job just to get into the feature.
Right.
People don't understand now. You pull on a racetrack, there's 14 Charger cars there. Everybody's in a show.
Yeah.
Now, back then, it was a race just to get in.
Yep. And when you say that now, the car counts low, not just here alone, but everywhere.
It's all over.
Across the whole North America where there's a racing. And a lot of that's economy, a lot of that's just, things are going on. But when you look at the difference between when you started and now, it's the seat time that these young guys aren't getting.
Yes. Yeah, without a heat race, you run 2 rounds of practice and you jump into a feature.
Right.
So a new guy coming up, it just, where's the seat time?
Yeah, and you're running your practice early afternoon, mid-afternoon.
In the sun.
In the sun, it's hot, and then you run your feature 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It's a whole different racetrack. Another aspect people don't understand, and they look at a guy and say, that guy was good in practice out till lunch now. Yeah. It's a whole different racetrack.
Yeah.
There's more rubber down, and it's overcast now, and the sunset. A lot of people don't understand that, and I'm a big promoter of seat time. Mm-hmm. And when I remember when I started, I had 20, 25 laps of practice. I ran my 10-lap heat. I was always in the Consi, another 10 laps. So I had 40, 50 laps every Saturday night.
Yep.
These kids today aren't getting that.
No. Think about it. They maybe 20 laps of practice and then a 20-lap
Maybe.
feature. So
Yeah.
it's 40 laps
That's it.
all day.
And they don't race every week.
No.
Like, you know.
So how much better can you get, or changes, or it's
something
much
that needs to be
different?
looked at. And I've talked to the powers to be. You need to revamp that. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, everybody's in. So you know what? You got the time. Run a heat race and make the heat
Yeah.
race mean something. You know, however you finish is how you start. Whatever. Like
Yeah.
kind of like the way the go-karts kind of do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you're driving a half of the heat, and
That's where you're qualifying in.
so you go out for the future.
Yeah, because you get the kids practicing after 3 weeks. They go by money earned. Then they put a rookie up on a pole,
Yep.
and the field gets destroyed.
But he's
and
not ready.
They're definitely not ready.
Not ready. I know a lot of guys. You go. I remember doing that. You ready? You ready to start up front? Oh, absolutely. I said, I'll tell you what. I'll let you start in front in hot laps. If the field passes you by
Yeah.
in hot laps, just go to the back. Don't
Yeah.
make me do it. You know. And that's what I used to. People used to hate me for some of the stuff I did, but
Yeah, but you're saving race cars.
I was saving race cars, people.
Yeah. No fights, arguments.
And there wasn't none back then.
No.
You know,
Right?
everybody-
And look how many people were there. Right? And you used to open the gate at 3:30.
Now
It's, you know, but times have changed.
It has changed, and everything. The whole logistics of racing has changed, and you know. But I don't understand why a lot of these racetracks open up so early in the morning, and you don't race too much later on, and you're there till 10, 11. It's a whole day. I remember when I started, I said, and I sound like the guys I hated growing up. Well, back in my day.
Yeah.
But I remember the gates opened at 5 at ISA.
Yeah.
We practiced at 6, heats at 7, features at 8. You could work a Saturday if you were a working guy. You know, it was just so different. Now you're there the whole day.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how much that attributes to the low car counts, because guys have to work now.
Well, you know, 5, 10 years ago, a lot of people didn't have to work on Saturday.
Right.
Economy, everything changed. Now you get a lot of crew guys even. I mean, I work till 12 o'clock on Saturdays when I race Riverhead, and then I get out there 1:30. But my guys get the hauler and everything there at 10 o'clock in the
Oh,
morning.
yeah. Your guys are early.
So it's, you know, everything has changed. You know, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, you just got there at 3:30.
Yeah.
You know, to me, you got to move it back because the features start a little too early. And I'm not knocking. Barbara and Jim do a great
Yep,
job with that place.
absolutely.
I mean, it's unbelievable what they do there. I'm glad we still have a racetrack on the
Oh, yeah.
mound.
Without them, there'd be nothing.
But the early starts, it does hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people work till 4 or 5 o'clock on a Saturday. The features start at 5.
Right.
So why would I go to watch 3 features? But they're doing something right. They're still there. And
still
like I said,
there.
they do a great job with it
There's still people in the stands. There's still race cars in the, you know.
in the pits.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. And we're going to take a break. And we come back. We're going to talk about some of Dave's other accomplishments in racing when we come back.
This can be
Hey, we're back. We are back. You know, it's funny. I always say that offline we have a better conversation sometimes. And you know, it's kind of funny. You know, Dave's known of the show for quite some time. It was a couple of times that we tried to get you, and you got stuck with work and whatever. And you know, he comes into Studio A, as we call it now, and the first thing he came down, he went, "Wow,
It's a little different than I thought.
yeah." You know, and you see our backdrop. It used to be the World behind me. I felt like Peter Jennings on World News Tonight, but my producer Matt, he put this thing together.
It's nice, very nice.
It's pretty cool, and it's all right. And the chat room's going. And they have some questions we'll get to later. But anyway, Dave, you know, one of the things that I said to David Hill, because you know, I speak to Dave from time to time, and the mill was out that you guys were talking, and I said, you know, David, this guy's won in everything he's driven.
Yeah.
And he goes, really? I didn't know that. Because for some reason, Long Islanders have this negative thing. You know, they only race at Riverhead.
Well, that's it.
You know?
And it's a true story.
It is.
Anybody can go fishing in a 55-gallon drill and catch a fish. Just being honest.
There you go.
That tells the whole story.
But when I had said to him, I said, I'm telling you, the guy has champions. He just doesn't win races. He wins championships. So he did his homework, you know, obviously, and you spoke to him.
Yes.
And I guess after one of your meetings or one of your talks, he emailed me back, and you know, well, at least it was thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm all for promoting my guys. I still call the Long Island guys my guys.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Long Island guy. I officiated every one of those guys on the tour. You know, Heggie, the Gooddales, Glenn Tyler when he was racing, Ferranti when he was on the tour. All those guys that came up from Long Island, you know, and came to the tour. And I remember when Edgar Gooddale showed up for the first time to race Stafford, only because he was not happy about something that happened at his local racetrack.
Yep.
And he came up, he goes, well, you know what, we'll take a week off, we'll go to Stafford. So he came in, and I was like, wow, I saw him on the entry list. And so I took him on the side. Guys, this is what we do, this is how we do it, this is what you need to do. There's a meeting here, you get this report, you get this sheet, it tells you all the time. No, he says, no, nobody ever would have done that.
Yeah.
Thank you. And they've been coming tour racing ever since.
Yes.
You know, not that Riverhead is a bad place,
No.
but you know what, sometimes, you know, you got to move on. You know, like anything in life, whether it's a job that you had a bad feeling or an experience, move on. You know, relationships, anything. Sometimes it's time to go. You
Yes.
know? And it was time for them to go. They have the equipment. When they were running 2 cars, who runs 2 cars on the tour?
Yeah.
But they were running 2 cars, which is very expensive to do.
Yep.
And you know, Kevin took his lumps in the beginning.
Yes, definitely.
And you know, and Eric, right out of the bat, he was like quick.
Yeah. And look how good he's doing now. You know?
He's gonna win some races.
Definitely.
You know, I tease him about coming on the show. He goes, after I win a race, I'll come on. So when he starts up front, I go, Monday, you need directions? And he laughs, and I have fun with it. But you know, well, like I said, I was talking to David Hill and telling him that you've won everywhere. Now, you've driven Chargers, trucks, late models, and modifieds up and down this entire East Coast.
Yes.
From Florida or through Connecticut. And I don't know if you ever went to New Hampshire.
No.
I guess that might happen this year.
I'm sure. I sure hope it does.
But that I'll have to check. So, you know, all these wins, you've got probably close to 40 wins.
50, Joe. Come on.
50. All right, 50. Oh, you know,
I got the 50 this year.
You got number 50 this year?
Yeah, last year
There
at
you go.
Riverhead. In Sapscar.
And Savs.
My good buddy.
There you go. Now, with all of those wins, you also one of the guys that you were in the hunt every race.
Yes.
I don't ever remember seeing you in the back floundering.
No.
You were always in the hunt. No matter whether you started 20th, 19th, whatever, you were always in the hunt. And you normally drive your race cars off the racetrack when it's over.
I try my best.
Now, at a place like Riverhead, that's not easy.
No. I mean, we had a rough year last year in 2013. It was definitely one of the roughest years I've ever had. And, but you know what? I never give up. I don't care.
Right.
That's my motto.
No.
You can knock me down as much as you want. Trust me, I'm coming back.
Hey, you know, what do they say? It's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how quick you get back up.
Yeah.
Like my publishers, it's not the 100 no's you get, it's the 1 yes.
Yes.
It's all that matters. And you keep coming back and keep coming back. And, you know, to win 50 plus events or 50 events across your lifetime, and you've been racing, what, 20 years?
Yeah, say 20 years.
20 years now? There's some guys that don't have 50 heat wins.
I know. It's true. I'm very grateful what I've done.
And you're a very humble guy.
I try to be, you know. Well, look, you know, I'm lucky I won that many races. I'd be lucky if I won 10. To be honest, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But we try. I live racing.
I know.
It's my, you know, I work my full-time job with my business and all the companies I own. But when it comes to racing, it's racing and work.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny. People who aren't involved with racing, you know, I talk on the show a lot of times about the passion. Mm-hmm. And whether you're a hunter, a fisherman, a golfer, a tennis player, or a race car driver, you're still doing what you do because of the passion.
Yes.
You know, I have friends, Thanksgiving, they can't wait. They don't even have Thanksgiving Day with their family. The hunting season starts, they're away at their cabin, their place, they're upstate, they're in the woods hunting. And that's what they do every year. And their family knows, don't schedule anything.
Yeah, don't.
Because
exactly.
they're hunting. Just like with you know, racing. Don't schedule things during racing season. I missed a lot of stuff with my kids and family growing up.
Yeah.
Not because of racing. I don't want to blame it, but because of the passion I had for it.
Yes.
I was never a guy going for championships or wins on. To me, that was just a place that's what I did.
It's your golf game.
I say that. I was telling Wade Cole, my car, I said, I want to let you know where I'm coming from. I'm not about winning races. I'm not looking to win a championship. I don't want to move up to the next level. I just want to go to the track, do my 100 laps, 150 laps, 200 laps, depending where we are, and drive it on the trail at the end.
That's a good day.
And
that's
he said,
a good day.
Well, then you got the right place because that's what we do.
Good.
And you know, pretty excited about that. But my crew chief, I see he's on. DJ is recovering from the accident, the horrific accident that he was in, and obviously prayers work because he's starting to heal and get better. Unfortunately, he has to sit this season out due to his injuries. But it's good to see you up and awake to be able to be in the chat room, DJ, also known as Silverback. He doesn't want people to know that, but I guess I'll let the cat out.
You just let everybody know now.
Just let everybody know. No.
I can't do that. I got to keep it.
Yeah,
After
no.
Daytona, I'll let you know.
Okay. After Daytona. And as we know, for those who weren't here earlier, Dave will announce his 2014 plans. They'll be etched in stone after Daytona.
Definitely.
Hopefully. Right now, they're kind of still etched in Jello, and it could melt at any time.
They're pretty much etched. I just don't want to read it to you.
There you go. I know a lot of people say, is he going to tell us? Is he going to tell us? I don't know. Tune in. Tune in and find out. Now, another place that you go to, and this I didn't understand, and maybe you could explain this to me. I'm going to put you on the spot.
That's all right.
You can walk to Riverhead Raceway from your shop practically.
Yeah.
What made you go to Mountain?
Change. Definitely.
You didn't even have to think about that.
No.
Boom, change.
Change.
You need a change.
I was only learning so much at Riverhead, and Riverhead's treated me like gold since the day I pulled in the gate, Bobby Fine and the Cromedies. I mean, never had one problem with it. I mean, have I screwed up and gotten in trouble? Yes. But I did it myself. It wasn't that they did it. But they let me run my go-kart club there for about 8 years. When Billy Dennis had retired from it, I took it over. And, you know, I will say this, you know, the 2 years I ran up in Mountain, they still let me run my club there, and that just goes to show you what type of people the Cromedies are.
Absolutely.
I give them credit for that. I really pretty much thought they were going to tell me, that's it, Dave, you know, you want to run. But they didn't. And but Mountain, I needed a change, and we hooked up with Eddie Partridge. We bought some SK motors from him and cars, some Dodge stuff. Went to Mountain because everybody said, you can't go up there, you'll never win. Well, when you tell me I can't do something, I'm just going to go prove it.
Done. Yeah.
And
not only did you go up there and win, you won championships there.
Yeah, we won a lot of races up there. And when we first started, there was a lot of cars. The second year we were up there, the car count started dying down a little bit. But up there, Joe Calavini, they treated me great. And we were traveling 3.5, 4 hours, and you know, it was a 4-hour ride home, of course. But it was great racing. I learned a lot. I learned, you know, the whole thing was they ran a little bit longer races for me up there, and just to sit back, a little bit more car control. The track was a little bit bigger, and enjoy a race day up in Pennsylvania. You know, I could keep, you know, Riverhead for me, I can win 3 or 4 races or 2 races and finish in the top 5 in points. That's my guaranteed season run for the championship. I just wanted something a little different going on.
And you kind of, and there's a few people now that go to Mountain from Long Island.
It's a great place, and now they, you know, a new owner took it over, and Joe retired up there now, and but you know, everybody says it's the back hills. It's the back hills. Nobody's gonna, you know, they got junk up there. Let me tell you something. How you doing? Go up there and try it.
Yep.
You know, look at John Ford. The guy can drive the wheels off anything at Riverhead, and he went up there, and he, you know, I'm sure he thought he was going to win a couple of races up there, and you know, did he have a great year? He had a great year, finished second in points, but did he win? No. To be honest with you, it's hard to win there.
Yeah.
It's hard to win there. Just because it's, you know, not a NASCAR track, and I'm all for NASCAR, but don't think those guys up there can't race.
Oh. You know, it's funny. I never went to Mountain. I had no desire to go to Mountain. It was like, why am I going to go to the foothills to watch a
Exactly.
race? And WJMyRaceNews.com, who's always on here and always promoting our show, he called me up. He said, "Come on, let's go. Why don't you come with me?" I was a little down in the dumps. I was like, I don't know, whatever. What do I want to go to? So I called my daughter, Jessica. I said, "Jessica, you go to Mountain with Rob. How is it?" I can't even tell you what she responded. Even on the internet, I can't tell you what she called that racetrack.
Yeah.
I was like, I know I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, all right. So I hop in the car, Walter and his gang, off we go to Mountain Speedway. I had a blast.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had a blast because I was sitting there as a fan,
Yeah.
because I wasn't involved with the team. I wasn't officiating. I knew practically nobody. There was a couple of kids that I knew that ran go-karts from there, but I didn't go down the pits. I sat in the grandstand.
Yeah.
And I was like, this was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, they don't get the 4,000 or 5,000 people in the stands watching. There's, you know, it's not as, you know, huge amount of cars in each class, maybe only 14, but the racing's great.
Oh, yeah.
The racing isn't, you know, I spent 2 years there and I bought 2 front bumpers in my own incident wrecking somebody. And, you know, the crash factor up there, there is none.
Right.
Because they don't deal with it. You
Right.
crash somebody, he goes in the pits, you went in the pits. So that was hard for me to learn. The first 2 weeks, I was in the pits.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was a learning experience for me.
Video Mike, who videotapes at Mountain Speedway, he's in the chat room, and he said it was great having you up there.
Yeah, we made a lot of friends up there. We had a lot of fun. And actually, we had the Nick Orange that drives for me in the go-karts. We ended up putting a deal together with Zacharias. And he ended up driving his car, Bandolero, for a while. Then I ended up buying it. And, you know, 13 years old up there, going around 100 miles an hour in a Bandolero.
yeah.
It's just, it was incredible.
Oh, I was just impressed. I was impressed with that. Because, you know, other than tour racing, I went to ISA, I went to Riverhead, and a handful of shows at Freeport when I was a little kid. And I never got involved in the ISA Freeport politics.
Yeah.
But in Riverhead, I went in, I bought a race car, I went racing, and because I was with a certain group of guys, I
Yeah.
was on the deal, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know?
I know, Joe. You were on the deal.
I was on the deal.
You were on the deal from the get-go. I'm just being honest, Joe. We all
No,
know.
hey, you know, it's like confession here.
It's all right.
And I kind of worked my way through. And I was always a mid-pack guy at best. You know, tore up a lot of equipment. There was one season I didn't drive my race car off the track once. The tow truck guy stopped asking where I'm parked because he knew where to bring it. But
One of those years.
Oh, it was one of those years. But I learned a lot. I learned how to change right fronts pretty quick. But and I don't mean just tires. But when I look back on that, every racetrack has that.
Yes.
This little group of people that, and not that it's on a, nobody's handing you stuff under the table. You still got to go to a racetrack and make it happen. But the gray stuff went my way.
Yeah.
I had a good parking spot. I didn't have to wait on the line.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And when I look back on all of that, and then when I became like the head guy, I was like, wow, we got to end some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't the most.
It was
liked
good
guy.
for you, but it wasn't for the next guy, Joe, since you were in charge. Yeah.
And I had believe me, I had no intentions of ever being a head official, or even one of any authority.
Yeah.
My goal, I had that wreck. I was still on crutches when I came back. Barbara Rourke gave me a job, because the comedy said, "You come back racing?" Barbara Jim, when I had that wreck in '96, they called me on a regular basis.
Wow.
To see how I was doing. They sent flowers, the cards. It was real. I was impressed. And then, Jim Crowley says, "Well, when you're here, you're going back racing?" So joking around, I said, "No, my race days are over, but I'd like to be an official." A week before the season, Barbara Rourke calls me out. And you don't remember how Bob was.
Yeah.
"Oh, you want to be an official?" "Yeah." "All right, be here Saturday, 11 o'clock. "All right, Bob, what am I going to be doing?" "I don't know."
We'll
"What's the
figure it
pay?" "I don't know." And he says, "We'll figure out something. Just
That's
get
it.
your ass here." And I'm an official. I showed up. And then I just kind of, because I couldn't get around, because now at this point, the crutches I put away and I'm walking with a cane. Now he put me on the ramp. Now I'm helping Bill Bryce III when he was
Yep.
there, and helping him. And then he went his separate way. And then Walt Edsel, let him rest in peace, he came in, and unfortunately he had his situation. Who's around to take over?
There you are.
There I was. I had no desire. Believe me when I tell you. And I had a good run. I mean, I made a lot of enemies, but
Well, if you're doing your job, you had to have enemies.
exactly, I
And
wasn't
nobody
going-
realizes that.
I wasn't going to barbecues on Sunday other than to
No,
Tommy
then you
Kraft's
were
house.
off the list, Joe.
I
Christmas
was.
card list went right down.
Because especially when I took that win away from you, man.
Remember that?
I had to get that out of the way. I had to get that
I'll
out
never
of the way.
forget that.
The Formula One
2
night,
laps to go. I'm leading.
from start to almost finish.
I get the black flag. What I do during the week wrong.
I was like, please let the sparks go away. Let them go away. And I'm watching the wheel come. I'm like, oh man. Oh man, if that thing comes
There's
off.
2 laps to go, Joe. What were the Sparks going to do? I was 10, 15 cars away from the second place car.
Yeah, like a
I was going to
headlight.
set him on fire? I'll never forget that. Remember I came down to Sunday to see you?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
we had a nice drive.
You learn.
Yeah,
That's all.
I think we both did that day.
Yeah.
You know,
I got the short end of the stick, but
But when I explained my point of view, and I remember I said to him, Dave, I'd rather have you hate me and be here next
No,
week.
you're right.
Than something would have happened. I couldn't live with myself. So, looking back, would I have done the same thing? Probably.
Yeah.
But
well, you
if
had
I-
to do your job.
If I was you, I would have kicked my butt on Route 58.
Nah, for what?
I know. But
I'll wait 10, 15 years. You're on a 12th year now.
I was going to say.
It's getting close.
It's getting close. But those are some of the things that
Yeah.
people are like. When you were running the go-kart club,
Yeah.
a lot of people, I'm sure.
Still to this day, you try to satisfy everybody, but try to do the right thing. But then when it becomes, I have to do something because,
Right.
then I'm the bad guy.
You're the bad guy.
And you know what? Justin Bonsignor came out there this year and helped us out and was the chief steward. I made Justin a bad guy.
There you go.
And he's very good. He's been around go-karting his whole life.
Oh,
and
since he's born almost.
And he's very thorough and he's to the point and he did a great job. And, with Linda there too, she helps out and pretty much runs the whole thing for me. And but Justin definitely stepped up, but, it took me off the bad side of that, everybody.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny. I remember when this discussion was they're going to make me Walter's replacement.
Yeah.
And Bob Finan just doing his job because that's, and he's great at what he does. And I've known Bobby 30 years.
Definitely.
His concern, he goes, I think he'll do a good job. However, I want to see the first time he has to make a call against his family
friend,
member,
yeah.
Tom Kraft, who's my uncle. And they were like, well, we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
So now you know how the grapevine is at Riverhead Raceway.
Yeah.
The grapevine comes back that not only did he say that, they embellished what he said, and made
Yeah.
like he had a whole big speech. He just said that. And I knew that. And so what did I have to do? Tommy goes into turn 1, there's a car in turn 2 that spins. I black flag Tommy for rough ride.
Yeah.
The place went silent.
Good thing we didn't have Facebook back then. They would have tore you up by 8
Oh,
o'clock that
man.
night.
But afterwards, he comes up, he goes, I know why you did that. And I didn't, I put him to the back.
Yeah.
And he worked his way back up, because I knew he could because I did it early. But I had to shut the detractors down,
Yeah.
and he got the biggest fine and suspension I ever handed out because he was a family member.
Yeah.
He got 10 years and 10,000. NASCAR cut it down to 500 in 2 weeks, but this is what he's getting.
That's a good cut down.
But I had to do that because people were worried he's going to get away with murder.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
Yeah.
And we had many a brawl, verbal arguments
Yeah.
on Sundays, and they were
But you had to
times.
do your job.
Joe Vitucci was going to. He called my house one time. He told Linda, he goes, just shut the lights off. Joe's not coming home tonight. But Monday I was jammed up. He was the first guy to help me.
Well, Joe, he's a great guy.
Oh yeah, I loved the man. I would do anything for him.
But you're in a rough position.
Oh.
It's hard to be with. Nobody wants that.
No, nobody likes the head guy.
No.
And if they do like the head guy,
Then he's on the list.
he's on the list. And I tried to put an end to the list.
It's better to have no list.
Well, that's what you have to do because it's not easy. And as you know, like running a go-kart club, a lot of your friends and family members,
Definitely.
they were in that. And it's almost like when the guy in The Godfather, they're gonna take him for a ride, and he looks at the guy and he says, "Can you get me off the hook for old time's sake?"
Nah.
The
Got to
rules are the
go.
rules. Yeah.
Get the shovel.
Yeah, you're going. And that was the hardest thing. And the other hard thing I had is as the chief steward on Saturday and try to go go-kart racing, people wanted to rehash Saturday.
Well, that's what we have a little bit of issues with.
Yeah.
You know, we have a lot of guys, which in the last couple of years have really been coming. Saturday night guys are starting to race on Sundays with their kids. And we do have a little bit of clashing going on Sundays. But you know what? All in all, it works out well.
Yeah, it does. And I used to tell people, and I can remember Jack Orlando, he had a situation on a Saturday night, and I love Jack.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the toughest competitors, one of the fairest guys you're ever going to deal with. And he had a situation at track Saturday, and it didn't go his way. And he wanted to talk about it Sunday.
Yeah, that's bad.
And I sat on the block up on the ramp. I said, Jack, I'm here on my kids go-karting.
Yeah.
You want to call me Monday? Call me Monday. I'm here to have a good time today. I want to rehash, yesterday. And he respected that,
Yeah. No, he's good like that,
He
Jack.
goes, oh, you're right, And maybe I didn't say it exactly like that. But he's one of the guys that I looked to when I first took over. I didn't know what a Charger car was,
Yeah.
And I would talk to Jack and talk to, to Joe Vituccio with these modifieds. What did I know? I was a figure eight guy.
Yeah.
When the modifieds racing, I was getting ready and I was online. But, I always pick some key people to kind of guide me. Was it always the right guy to pick? Maybe not, but I had to pick somebody. And I'm sure with the go-karts, you have your key people.
Definitely.
And maybe 10 years from now, you'll look back and, maybe I could have used somebody else. Maybe not,
Yeah.
But you have to make these decisions at the time, and just like going racing.
Yes.
In the stands, you saw a car, you bought it.
Yeah.
And you weren't racing. Somebody told you couldn't.
It's true.
That's somebody laughed. I said, I think I want to race. You don't have the balls. That's what they said to me. All right, I went to a guy. I said, you got a race car? I said, yep. All right, here you go. How much you want? Here you go. I'll be here tomorrow.
Yep.
I don't want racing. I was shocked, but I had.
You went, right?
I was racing.
That's all that matters, right?
A bunch of other Neanderthals at Ice Speedway. I was 20 years old racing against guys in their 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
That, muscle.
You having
around.
fun?
I did.
So
It wasn't fun at the time.
now,
Looking back,
it was fun.
It was fun.
It was. How could you replace that?
You can't.
Yeah, no, you can't.
You can't. And you always, they say you can't go backwards. I'm going backwards. I'm going racing.
Yeah.
And hopefully I don't get in your way.
No, I'll be easy on you.
All right. I'll let you. My spotter will say, Dave's coming, move out.
We'll try like hell.
But it's all good. And I, like this show, I do this because it's fun. I get to talk to people. I get to talk racing. Not too many people get to do what they love doing.
No. Nope.
And I look at people who are miserable in their jobs. I hate my job. I hate my wife. I hate my kid. Well, do something about it.
Yeah.
Here I am. I do. This is my night out. I got to read this little promo here. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and InRavio has got the ultimate experience for you to win a night out with a limo from Camelot Limos to Hanu Kitchen and Cocktails in Huntington, New York for dinner, and then a special show at the Paramount. Laughter is the way to the heart. I think we have a video that goes with that. We'll watch this video real quick. All right, we're back. Click on the context tab on InRavio.com for your chance to win. The winner will be announced on 2/14, so be sure to check out Camelot Limo, Hanu Kitchens and Cocktails, and the Paramount online. I'll tell you what, I've been to events at the Paramount, and awesome place. If you're ever looking for for a good night out, the Paramount has some good shows. In fact, WJ from MyRaceNews.com, he won Fab 4 tickets. He went, I believe, this Saturday night to see a Beatles type of tribute band, and a very, very good time by Walter and his wife. So click on the page, click it on the contest. We have a lot of stuff going on, and we'd like to see my guys, as I say, win it. The guys and gals that listen to my show. Although WJ listens to watches a lot of the shows on the radio.
That's right.
So he supports us through and through. So anyway, getting back to the championship. What does it take to win a championship?
Well, I mean, back in when we were winning them up at Mountain and everything, just consistency. Every week, week in, week out, as soon as you unload the car, you got to be consistent. Right. You know, I mean, that's how I did it up there. You have a clear head. You're there for one reason. You got to finish every race. Oh. That's the biggest thing. I did it in 2000 with the Charger car, and you know, sometimes you had to give up 2 spots to gain 1. Sometimes you had to give up 5 spots to gain 2. It's just, you got to finish every single race. Maybe it's not where you wanted to finish, but that 7th is better than a 13th or a DNF. So
yeah.
And you got to finish.
And I know somebody told me years ago that when it's the end of the season, you're in that top 5 shot, and you still have a mathematical hunt for the point championship. You got a points race sometimes.
You have to. You know, the years I did win a championship, it's almost like I point raced from the day we unloaded for practice in April, and just followed the whole year through like that. Yeah. And I mean, that's the only way I can do it. You know, it's nice to go for those championships. I mean, I went for the wins, and yeah, I get 4 or 5 wins a year, and I wreck 6 cars during the year. Right. So it's, you know, you gotta, you know, at this point where I'm racing now, I want to get in the top 5 in points right away and unload and be consistent.
Yeah, and I believe you could do that with the team of guys that hopefully you guys connect with.
I mean, the guys, you know, we went down there, I was very impressed with the whole operation and how they are, how they work, how they get things done in the shop. And, you know, the way we run my shop, we got 3 guys down there working all the time. And it was kind of how I run my shop, but, you know, at a different degree, of course. And what I'm doing in my shop is perfect for where I'm racing and to go where I need to go. You know, I've got Brian Schwartz with me for about 15 years and 45 wins. And I owe them all to him. The guy's giving me the best stuff I've ever driven. And, you know, even me and him talked about what it would take for us to go tour racing. And this type of situation is really what I need to do what I need to do.
Right. And that's a big step. You know, a lot of people, what's the difference? You know, you can tour races, but it's a whole different ball game.
It's a whole different league. If you ask me, it is. You know, it's those guys have been doing it for a long time, and they know the ins and outs. No different than, you know, one time we brought up Zane Ziner to run one of our cars. You know, we ran Riverhead for 10 years or 8 years in a modified. We brought him up. He got it, and he finished 3rd. Yeah. Because he got in a great car. He's a great driver. Don't get me wrong. He can drive. He can. But for us to go out on a tour with our own stuff, it's definitely possible. But with the Hill team, I think it's going to be a good adventure.
Right. Now, other than Brian, who are some of the other guys? Because your crew seems to be like the same guys year in and year out.
Yeah. You know, we got a lot of guys that work at the shop that don't go to the track. And we lost a couple guys, had kids and girlfriends, got married. And, you know, we usually have our same 3 or 4 guys. To me, we like to do it the best with 3 guys. This way, 3 guys, everybody knows what's going on. You got 6 or 7, there's always 1 or 2 drifters that conflict with everything that's really going on in the shop. Right. And I really run my race team like a business.
You have to.
And,
I say that on the show every week.
You know, I really don't, you know, 10 years ago, you're drinking and partying and have a good time at the shop. I spend too much now. And I'm not going to go to the racetrack half-assed, to be honest with you. I'm going there to win. And if we're going to put the time and the effort in it, let's do it the best. And Brian, me and Brian go in a shop for 7, 8 hours a night, and we don't even have to talk to each other. He knows what I'm thinking, and he's vice versa. And it works, and he's so good at what he is. But, you know, we had a little personnel problem for the next year. You know, to go tour racing, I need 4 or 5 more guys. But I need 4 or 5 guys like Brian. I need 7 Brians, and I'd be set.
I don't think
it's
they
hard
are
to
7
find
Brians.
that. You know, I have great guys helping me. But, you know, a lot of guys can't give up that Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Or
and
Tuesday,
I don't want to
Wednesday,
ruin a
Thursday. And,
yeah, it's a whole different game.
Oh, yeah. You know, I told somebody that there's crew chiefs on the tour that they get paid. That's their full-time job.
Yeah, I believe it. And they're worth the money.
Oh.
Because without that major, you know, part of it, of a crew chief there, You really don't have any because he's going to hold the whole thing together for you.
I know a crew chief. I'm not going to say what team, but I know a crew chief. He gets $1,000 a week to run the race team. The whole year, not just during the season, from January 1st to December 31st. And that's he eats, sleeps, and drinks the race car.
But that's the common denominator of that whole team, him. And without him, what do you got? So, you know, it's money well spent. Mm-hmm. And, you know, of course, everybody can't afford that or doesn't want to do that. But if you can do it, and
absolutely. And, you know, it's funny. I remember we had gone to dinner with a car owner. I'm not going to say who he is. It's nobody's business. But we went to dinner where we talked, we chatted. And there was something that you did that impressed me. And I never said this, but you're sitting there talking to this potential car owner for you that you're going to drive for, and we're talking about crews, and I'm just sitting there eating. I'm just eating, boop, drinking, whatever, and because I'm out of it. It's between you know.
Yeah.
And your loyalty impressed me to your guy.
Yeah.
Because all that car owner wanted was you.
Yeah.
And you said, well, I got guys. Now I got guys.
Yeah.
But I want my spotter and my crew chief. Yeah, but I got a spotter.
Yeah.
And you said, but I'll be comfortable. And he kind of compromised, if I remember.
Yeah.
You know,
We worked it out.
Okay. But I drove home, and I remember I'm going home, and I said to Sonny, I said, that's loyalty, man.
Yeah.
He could have a race season handed to him where he could show up with a bag, and it might not happen because he insisted on being loyal to his people.
Loyalty is everything.
Absolutely. I try to teach that to people. Yeah. You don't burn the bridges.
No,
you don't burn the people that got you to
again one day.
My grandfather, let him rest in peace, he said to me once, the people that you meet on the way up, when you're going down, they're going to wave to you.
They're going to wave at you.
Yep. You know, and loyalty. And I remember, I was like so impressed by that. Because you're a good guy. I always respected you and everything. But that day, I was like, man, he's being handed a ride with an established team, and the guy has nationwide cars. And my guy's coming with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't leave Brian, you know, and a couple other guys, and, you know, we're not looking to step on anybody's toes.
Absolutely.
You know, and it just, you know, I got to.
Yeah.
You know.
That impressed
These guys helped me climb the ladder, you know. Would it really be right for me to say, okay, guys, I'm done with you guys?
Hey, thanks, take it easy.
Nah, I could never do that.
No. I said that to a guy that drove for me for a while, and he thought the grass was greener somewhere else. And we actually had words about that comment that I just made. And you know, he made like, if you think the grass is so green, you still have parts of my house. Come get it so my grass could grow. It was ugly.
Yeah, I hear you.
But all I wanted that guy to do was come to me and say, "Hey, I have another opportunity."
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
It's all about loyalty, you know.
Yep.
I treat them like family. I treat people, anybody that's in my circle, they're in my circle for a reason. And you treat them like family. And you and Brian, you guys are like, you're closer than brothers.
He's like I know. I don't go anywhere without him. Yeah. He's like my living bodyguard.
You know?
He's incredible. And as a friend, I mean, he goes to Florida with my dad at times, and he's real close to my family, and you're not going to find a nicer guy.
No. I can remember when the one time you were scheduled to come and you got stuck working, you were driving the train, he kept calling me.
Yeah, he's the PR guy.
He just kept calling. He's in the city. And he'd tell me, Joe, he's still in the same exact spot that he was 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. And we got in one fight, and maybe, it was my fault, of course, and I drive him crazy. To be honest with you, I drive him crazy.
You know, and we've all had altercations with people that we love and care about.
Yeah.
And it's only because you want your point to be shown. And it goes here and it goes here. And the next thing you know, you're screaming at each other or whatever. But the bottom line is you still love the guy.
Definitely.
You know?
I don't want him to hit me.
No.
Definitely don't want him to hit me.
He's a big guy.
He's a big guy.
He has big hands.
Yeah.
His hands are bigger than Grumpy's.
He's just like, and those race cars are his life. And it just does, even in the wintertime. I bought him a new car this year. He says, oh, well, you know, we're going to put this deal together with Hill, I hope. And, you know, what am I going to get going on? I said, give me 2 weeks. And I dropped him off a new car. So he's been putting it together. And
okay.
Yeah, he got plenty of cars. He's got 4 or 5 of them to take care of. So it's his thing. It's his, you know, it's definitely. And like he drove for a while, and now.
I remember that.
He had fun. But crew chiefing for me, I mean, he's never given me a bad call. Maybe once or twice I punched the roof, but other than that, it wasn't that bad.
You punched the roof. That stuff happens. It happens. Now, this tour endeavor.
Yeah.
Now, you've done some tour racing, on the Northern and Southern tour. We talked about that before. You first did a tour race in 2009.
Yep.
And I guess in 2009 you did like 4 races, didn't you?
Yeah.
Where did you, other than Riverhead, what other races did you?
We did South Boston and Atlanta and Riverhead.
Because you did the Southern tour as well.
Yeah.
And Atlanta was your best run?
Yeah, 4th down there, and then we had a 2nd at Riverhead, 13th at South Boston, I think it was. We were never out of the top 13 till this year at Riverhead, and we could do nothing right.
Yeah, well, you kind of got
Yeah, we had
up.
a problem.
Yeah.
Broke a rear, couldn't get it fixed in time, but Eddie Parr just gave us a rear to use, and we just couldn't get it in time. But it's all right. Things gonna happen.
Absolutely. So I remember that. You had kind of like the wrong place, the right time, right place, wrong time, whatever.
Yeah, it was. Last year was a little rough, but we came out with 2 or 3 wins,
Yeah.
top 5 in points. We don't give. And Dave Sapienza gave me a hand. Yeah, I drove for him for a while, and we won with his car. Then we got my cars done, and then we came back and won with my car. And I got to thank Dave for doing that for me. And
Another good guy.
Yeah, he called me up and said, "Dave, you gonna come drive the car?" I said, "Yeah, why not?"
Yeah.
He said, it's a 96 Troy. No, it's a 94 with a 96 front clip. See what you think. 3rd week I won in that thing.
There you go.
I loved it. I didn't want to get out of it. The car was just a perfect for Riverhead. Very little motor, hooked up. The car was great. And it was like he said, you're never winning it. And when you tell me you're never going to win, I'm going to win it.
Okay, you got it. Nah. And tour racing. Now, 2 tour races on your home track. Does that put a lot of pressure on you?
No.
Wow.
No way.
You're pretty quick. No.
No. Well, why would there be pressure on you?
Because,
Everybody gets out of the bed and puts their feet on the ground just like me.
there you go. I love it.
Not right?
Yeah.
If you're 18 or you're 55, what's the difference?
Still do it the same way.
Yeah.
It's a nice attitude to have.
Like people say to me all the time, "Oh, you go to track, it's so crazy. Come to work with me. Come to work with me for a day. Try my boots on."
Yeah.
That's why you go to the races. It's relieving. Even on a hectic day like that tour show, everybody said I thought I was going to be mad. It's not bad. We'll fix it.
Yeah.
Could be worse.
And you know what? Anytime you can climb out of it, and
That's the
it's
key.
all fixable.
Yes,
I mean,
definitely.
I had to be helped out, but I still got it.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know what? That car couldn't be fixed. I don't think there was a savable part on it, but I mean, I put the water pump in #1 cylinder.
Oh.
Man,
As long as you're all right, I guess that's all
Yeah.
that matters. We could
it's a learning experience.
definitely.
And that was one of the things I said to Bob and Jim Crown. I said, you know why that happened to me? And they're like, well, why? So because when I rolled in with that car, because I was in the in crowd, this is the car you used last year? Here's your sticker.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not playing. It was my own fault for what happened. I caused the wreck, and certain things didn't do what they were supposed to do safety-wise. But it was,
Learn from your
I
mistakes.
gotta blame myself for that. But I never let anybody else go out with. And that's why, when going back to your situation with the Charger car, that win, that's all I saw was this guy wrecks. How do I tell his wife, man? This is my fault because this is a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
And if I put the black hanging out, they're gonna hate me. If he wrecks, they're gonna say, "Why didn't you put it out?" So,
Yeah. Well, you did what you had to do.
I know.
We're all happy.
Yeah,
I would have had 50 wins prior to the one on this year, but
would have had 51. But like you said earlier, nobody likes the head guy. I mean,
No.
Even at work, they hate. Some people hate me.
yeah, they don't have to like me at work. They get
No.
paid at the end of the week.
There you go.
But we're good. My business, we treat everybody great,
Mm-hmm.
and no different I do with the racetrack. So
Yeah, one of the things I had when I was a manager at UPS is we had this employee relations index survey that they took every year.
yeah,
So about a month or 2 before that, my job was to take my people out to lunch, suck up to them, make them feel good. So
Yeah.
that because everything rolled up. Like my numbers rolled into my boss's numbers, who had 7
Yeah.
other managers, who rolled up to his region manager, who had 7, rolled up to corporate. So they all had to. You have to have, because if you had a bad score,
that's a no-no.
then you were in another department.
Yeah.
Your people have to be happy, and like your crew chief, your crew, the people that help you, you got to keep them happy.
Yes.
my crew chief, even though he's going to sit this year out, I had fun with them.
Yeah.
I haven't had fun racing in a long time. I had fun with them. Even like things when the officials mess up, and being that I was on that side.
Yep. And that's a tough thing, right?
I found myself yelling at the spot in the Swata Center, Bristol, because Wade was going, and Wade ended up with a good run, but he was going, but the leaders were coming.
Yeah.
I said, Wade, drop down a little, just let the leaders go by. Then it was in a hole, he couldn't get in. So for a lap, he stood there and let the whole field go by, he tucked them behind. All of a sudden, the spot, I touched him on the shoulder, got to bring it in, you're not maintaining minimum speed. And I just, what do you mean? I got him out of the way. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So she's like, all right, hold on. So she's like, he told them to back down and let the field go by. So they let him in and they were back out, and they were doing their job.
Exactly.
But they didn't realize that I had told him to do that.
Yeah.
Now, he ended up with a good finish. I had his best finish ever at Bristol, and everybody was all happy, but I had to just, wow, I yelled at an official.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to take a deep breath.
That's what I had to do at Riverhead, you
Yeah.
know, because all of a sudden at Riverhead I realized there was a million eyes on me.
Yeah.
And I knew that, and I had him in the top 10. I had him running 7th, and, you know, he got kind of muscled, and somebody came out of the infield and hit him, or whatever. And Wade wanted to pit.
Yeah.
Wade, you pit now. You might as well go to the ferry, because by the time you get out, the race will be over.
Yep.
Just hang in there. Oh, I'm going to drop to the back. You don't need to drop to the back. The toe's out. Which wheel? I said to him, I think the left front is out. All right. The left front don't even touch the track here.
You're good to
Just
go.
So he went back to 28th and ended up finishing like 14th or 15th.
There you go.
But I had a ball that day, you know. It was like, oh, wow, it was nice. And it was like at my home place, you know.
Yep.
Like it gives you credibility. You know?
Exactly.
I'm not the favorite guy there.
No.
But what are you going to do? We'll see what happens when I go tour racing there.
Should be good.
I don't know if I want to.
No?
No, I do. In fact, I want to run a couple other races there too.
Good.
The memorial race and stuff. I got to just convince Wade to let me do that. It's going to be tough to get the car down and whatever.
One step at a time.
Well, yeah. I got to get through this test session in March.
There you go.
I know. If my daughter could turn 19s and with old tires, I know I can.
It's true. How big could it be, Joe? How big could it be?
the pedal
Just
down
think,
and go.
somebody else is doing it, so why can't you?
Exactly.
Right?
I know it's not easy. Right?
No.
Right, DJ? I know it's not easy. Because it was easy everybody do it. There'd be 100 cars in each division.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
I know I could stay out of trouble in like Staffords and the Waterford. I can stay out of trouble. I don't know about Riverhead. It's hard to stay out of trouble.
Riverhead, you're in trouble. When they throw the green, you're in trouble.
Your hot laps are in trouble.
Yeah.
No, but anyway. Hey, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to talk about some NASCAR stuff that's going on and some more chat with Dave Brigat. We'll be back. Hey, another little announcement. Between the Buried and Me with guest Deaf Heaven, Intronaut, and Kindred is coming to the Paramount Theater in Huntington, Long Island, New York, Friday, February 21st at 8 p.m. And Radio's got your tickets. Click on the Win Now link right on the homepage to enter. Log on to ParamountNY.com for a complete listing of all the shows. Again, the Paramount, good place. I thought I was in the city. I thought I was in Broadway. Awesome, awesome place. Had a great time. Anyway, NASCAR stuff. I want to get into this couple of things I just want to talk about. Because you know me, I like to stir the pile a bit. But anyway, Ray Evernham is leaving ESPN. He's going to take a bigger role at Hendrick Motorsports. Evernham is going to be an advisor and not a race day participant. I think that's just a start. Evernham has 3 NASCAR Sprint Cup titles and 42 wins with Jeff Gordon between 1993 and 1999. And he has 13 wins as a car owner with Evernham Motorsports, fielding his own team. So it should be interesting. He felt there was a conflict of interest to be an announcer and being involved as heavily as is with Hendrick. So he decided to step down. I'm thinking that somebody else asked him to do that.
I would say so.
I'm thinking.
Definitely.
Yeah. Here's another thing. Everybody knows there's a rule. Maybe everybody doesn't know. It's called the EIRI rule. And what that is, except in rare circumstances. So there's a rule now with the chase that you have to race 26 races to be eligible for the chase. Now, take a guy like Denny Hamlin, who got hurt.
Yep.
Well, that's going to fall in the except in rare instances case, that they'll allow an injured driver who's qualified for the chase, even though he doesn't have 26 races, to be in the chase.
I don't know.
Except in rare instances. Now, I always wondered why on the entry blank it said that. What is EIRI? Now I know.
Now you know.
You know, except in rare instances. I guess it's good. I don't know. But I guess it's going to depend on who that guy is, too. Because, you know, even on a cup level.
It's a big gray area, no?
Big gray area. Big area. I mean, what if it's not a real injury?
We're going to make it a real injury.
Exactly. Exactly. Anyway, NASCAR is revamping its penalty system. And I know all about penalties because I got a bunch and I handed out a bunch. It's called NASCAR's deterrence system. The new system has 6 different levels of penalties. Now, there's no more guessing at what penalty you're going to get for a technical violation. You're going to know. Specific offenses will carry specific penalties ranging from a loss of practice time for minor infractions to up to 150-point deductions for most serious infractions. They can also double and triple it if it's really, really bad. So, see, I always wondered why there was inconsistency with that.
Yes.
You know, one guy does something, and he's fined $50,000, he's put on probation to the end of the year, and then something happens like 5 races later, the same guy, and wait, he's on probation.
Yeah.
Now he just gets another fine and like double probation.
Yeah.
I never understood that.
They got it all figured out now.
That's what they say. Going into the press release I read.
Which is good.
I just hope if they got to stick to that.
Wow.
They can't, and I'm not saying this happens, but I'm just going to be facetious here. Something happens to Jeff Gordon, his crew chief messes up, Rick Hendrick goes out to dinner with, Brian France, and next thing you know.
It's big business.
That's why he was in the chase.
Big business.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
You just got to realize it. It happens.
Mike Hilton had a chat with me at New Hampshire. And I was calling a nationwide race. Why me? I don't even know how I got in that position, but the nationwide race is running. I'm up in the tower doing my thing. And the next thing I know, we're going like forever under green, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
Mike Hilton tells you, goes, "We need a caution." Yeah. So we need a caution. Yeah. All of a sudden, he hits the button, reaches across me, hits the button. Caution lights are on. Flag man, put it out, caution. I look at him, he goes, "Debris in 2. We got debris in 2. And I have to move all the trucks. I have to tell them where to go, how to go. And I get the binoculars, I'm looking. I don't see no debris. I don't see nothing. Looking on what's being broadcast, there's debris. There's a piece of metal. The guy gets out of the truck, bends down, picks up nothing. Puts it in and drives away.
I don't know.
I look at him like, he goes, all we do here is put on a show, and to put that show, we need commercials. And to get the commercials, we need questions. Oh!
Wow.
Like you said, it's big business.
It's big business. It really is.
And I didn't realize.
Definitely.
I had no clue.
Now you do.
Oh, I learned the hard way.
You would
that
never
day.
think, right?
No. And then I was drinking like a Diet Pepsi out of a can. I got called into the big white trailer. And on the table was a Coca-Cola can, sitting on the table. Mike Helms and David Hoots. Odd that they have this Coca-Cola on a mahogany desk with
Yeah,
no
right.
coaster.
With a coaster.
I'm like, hey guys, what's up? Do you know we're a Coca-Cola organization? Yes, I do. Why were you drinking Diet Pepsi in the towel?
Yeah.
Of course, outside the door is Diet Pepsi, is a Pepsi machine. I put my money in.
Yeah, I got me a
Pepsi
Diet
came out.
Pepsi.
Like,
Yep.
no, you put it in a cup next time.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the flag guy, Hal Kinder, who was a flag guy years ago. He smoked Marlboro. They made him put his Marlboros in a Winston pack.
I believe it. It's business.
Business.
It really is.
Nobody realizes that.
You know?
Even on a small local level.
Definitely.
I used to have arguments with Barbara and Crowley. I need your ledger sheet. I need to know because you're telling me to make calls based on who has a billboard, who's sponsoring a night. I need who's paying the most. Oh, Joe, it's not like that. But I made a call against Howie Brody, Frank Vigro and Howie Brody, bound for the championship. Like 99, I think it was maybe. And one takes out the other. Late in the season, like a
Yeah.
race or two left. So of course, black flag. Next thing I know,
Ring, ring.
Key Trade. It was 98. Key Trade goes into the office. They're screaming at me on the ramp. They go into the office. Barbara calls me up. And then the phone on the ramp, it blinked.
Yeah.
It was Barbara and Jim. It just rang. It was anywhere
Who
else.
else?
I'm like, I see this. I saw, okay. Joe, you got to reverse that call. And they were doing a little cleanup, so I have time to humble myself, whatever. I says, I can't. It was so flagrant. Joe, you need to change that call. They just bought that big scoreboard sign, Key Trade, for $25,000, whatever it was. You need to make this. All right. You're the owners. So I change it.
Wow.
Peter Clark goes running in from Petro View.
He got the billboard on the other side of the track.
Yeah.
The billboard wars going on over
Joe,
here.
put it back to the way it was, and we'll just deal with it.
See? You're in a position you didn't want to be in.
Oh, you have no idea.
How'd it turn out? I know Frank won the championship.
It went back to my original call, but both companies hated me, and one didn't come back. Key Trade never came back.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah. Anything for you, Dave. You know that. But it was stuff like that. It's not only at the local, It's
No.
at the, like Rick Hendrick told NASCAR.
Yes.
Jeff's not in the chase. He ain't running. And Home Depot and DuPont's not going to be happy.
So what do we have to do?
Add him to the chase.
What do you think of that, really?
As a businessman, it was the right thing to do.
Yeah. Terrible. Terrible.
As a racer, if you didn't
It's
make
not
it,
fair.
you don't make it.
There's only a limited amount of cars that should be in the chase.
That's why it's the chase.
Now all of a sudden we add a car.
Yeah.
No way.
And now because of that, they revamped the whole chase thing. Now we're going to put 16 people in.
Right back to it. Big business.
Yeah.
Hendrick. Big pull.
Big. See, Yates is gone. See, yeah, he's
He don't even
nowhere.
compare. He's on a ladder down below.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I remember I dealt with Robert Yates through this UPS thing years ago, and it's, the way UPS came in, they did some stuff in the background. They sponsored some races and events, and the next thing you know, Dale Jarrett's their guy.
Yeah.
After Buckshot Jones threw that deal away.
Yeah.
But Yates becomes the UPS guy because UPS is moving a lot of the Ford stuff out of Louisville, and Yates is a big Ford guy.
Big business.
Big business.
That's what it is. Every day with everything.
Yeah.
From a small mom and pop store right to the stock market. It is.
It's all, and that's what it's all about. It's about making money.
Yeah.
I tell people with racing, even at your local racetrack, whether you're racing at Riverhead or Mahoning Valley or Mountain or Stafford, you got to approach your team as a business.
Yes.
And you need to make your business profitable one way or another. If you're doing it just for the hobby and stuff, that's fine too.
Yes.
But I've always run my racing as a business, and I've been very successful at it up until this year. It's
It's going to
tough.
be a real eye-opener this year.
But I remember a couple of drivers coming to me and saying, I don't know how you get these sponsors.
Yeah.
And you know, it's hard to get your own. I could get sponsors for anybody almost.
Yeah.
Get my own? How do you talk about yourself to somebody?
You know.
It was easy talking about you to people.
Yeah.
You know, you had a track record.
Yeah. How'd you sell yourself?
You can.
I know.
I start stuttering. I'm like, you know?
You know.
How many races you win, Joe? Well, I
Well, you
raced
know-
my bike in 1966 in the street. I beat that guy. I
Yeah.
mean, what do I
That's
say?
not working.
Because, you know, that's what they look at. How many races did you win?
Yeah. Everybody wants to win. Or be with the winner.
I had a sponsor. I got him in 1994. He didn't. It was a chiropractic office.
Yeah.
He saw no value, none, zero. I said, I'll tell you what, buddy. I'll make you a deal. I will give you the rear panel of my car, the whole thing.
Yep. If.
I will give you that for free. When your patients come and they fill out on the form, I know this because when I went there, how did you hear about us? I want you to separate the ones that Joe's race car, Riverhead Racing,
Yeah.
Summer Racing. And at the end of the year, kick me back 2%
There you go.
of what you got,
Yeah.
insurance, whatever. He laughed. He goes, oh, you got it, no problem. So the season ends. It's October. He calls me up. Hey, want to go to dinner? We'll talk about racing? Yeah, sure. He takes me to Chow Babies in Comac.
Yeah.
Very expensive place.
Yep.
We're sitting there. We have a nice dinner, drinks. Dessert comes. We have a little after-dinner drink. I'm like, what's this all about? He goes, oh, before I forget, he hands me a check for like $6,000.
See that?
He's been sponsoring my cars ever since. No, not $6,000, though, but
Yeah.
some, you know, whatever he can do. Well, because you show him the value.
Yep. You went around it the right way. Yeah.
I've seen proposals where, well, I could buy more beer for my guys so
Yeah.
they could work on the car at night.
Yeah.
I throw them away, you know?
How about the guys that get the sponsor money and put a new deck on the back of the house?
Or not race.
Anybody that ever sponsor me, I always write the check right to Hoosier. Oval speed.
There you go.
Right to I never want to touch it. This
No.
way he knows where it's going.
Exactly.
It's so much better.
Exactly. And speaking of sponsors, I did sign a new sponsor recently.
I thought we were going to read about it.
I guess I could type it in there. We can
Who
read
was it?
This is what I got. Now, again, I don't have traditional sponsors. I had Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Yeah.
I had, a chiropractor firm. I signed this week. This was this week? It was last week because this is Monday. The week just started. The accounting firm of Mary F. Albert, CPA, PC, has come on board. Now, I know Mary a long time, but her business, she has her own firm, and over the years, I've led people to her. She's
Yeah.
got new clients, and she sees a value there.
That's good.
So she'll be on the tour car. Not a big sponsor, but you know what? Every little bit helps.
It's always better to have 10 little ones than one big one.
Right, so
Because the one big one goes, you got
you
nothing.
got nothing.
If you got 10 little ones, one goes, he's easy to replace.
Right.
You know?
And then this is, they came to me even. I was kind of surprised. So
Look at
I
that.
want to thank,
Joe, you're on a roll.
I want to thank Mary Albert, CPA, for coming on board for 2014. And hopefully that all works out for
That's
both
nice.
of us. I think she's in the chat room. She was before. But it's a good deal. It's kind of funny because, as you know, going to a race, there's things you need. You need a fire suit.
Yeah.
You need tires. You need
Dance
fuel.
up.
You need parts. I mean, and I'm looking at, I'm trying to make a budget. I'm like, when I was all done with the numbers, it was like 50, 60 grand.
Yeah.
Easy.
You're not supposed to look at that, Joe. You're
And that's
never
enough to
supposed to
break
look
it.
at the bottom number.
I know. And that's with nothing breaking. That's
Hey,
just
no,
going.
I never look at the bottom number.
I'm like, oh, man. And I remember I was talking to Bob Garbarino, and I said, Bob, what does it cost you for the season? He said, about 140, 50 grand.
Yeah.
I don't know how my car owner does it. I have a good deal with him. I really do. And with Wade Cole and the guys and everything. And I guess some of his stuff falls into me Billy
Yeah.
the Kid motor. I mean, there it is. Put it in.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hans Weiss, the seat, all that stuff.
That's nice.
But you know what he told me, Wade? He said, the 12, 13 years that I knew you on the tour, you always treated me with respect.
Yeah. See?
And it started as a joke. We're at Monadnock. Wade brings 2 cars. He has 1 driver. I'm doing inspection. On the inspection sheet. All right, who's driving this car? He goes, you are. I start taking off my business.
Perfect.
I'm ready.
It's all it takes.
I get in the car. I'm like, I better get out before I get in trouble. So I get out, and that's just, it started. Do you,
Yeah.
do you really
You
wanna
shouldn't
do
have sat in that seat. That was it.
Oh man! And then it was impound. It was an impound race, and I'm standing by his 2 cars at the time, and he comes over. He's waiting for the impound to end so he can get make adjustments. And he goes, "Do you really want to do that?" Oh yeah. I do. All right, let's talk it over with your wife. I don't have a wife.
You're good to go.
You're good to go.
That's it. He's signed. Look at a helmet.
And then I was supposed, like I said, I was supposed to do it the year before, but Daytona was coming up.
Yeah.
And I spoke to not the present regime, but the past regime, Chad Little went out, and I told him I wasn't coming back as an official.
Yeah.
Why? Well, we had a little discussion. And he says, Jimmy Wilson's a good guy. And he is. I have a lot of respect for Jimmy Wilson. He goes, give it one more shot. Going to go to Daytona. And I'm saying to myself, well, I go to Daytona like every year except for this year. And, I'm flying there on their dime. I'm staying half the time on their dime. Why not?
Exactly.
Let's do it. And I had a good time. So I stayed on, but things are happening behind the scenes that I didn't care.
Well, they were making some changes, right?
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Big time changes. And, I was the race director for a while, and I wasn't anymore, but I still got race director pay, so I didn't really scream about it. And then, something happened in Monadnock, and I just...
That was it.
It's time to... This isn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
And I went in, had a nice chat with Jimmy. We respected each other, and I said, look, this isn't fun. And he said, and he has to say as the boss,
Yeah. Well,
he said, this is a job.
Yeah.
I said, you're right, but I'm basically retired.
Yeah.
I don't need the job.
Mm-hmm.
And I do this for fun, and it's not fun. Yeah. I want to go have fun. So I'm going to go back to my home track. I'm going racing. Oh, boom, next thing I know. Wait, I'm in the back of my head. Wade said, do you want to drive my race? I called him up. Because I was supposed to call him after the holidays, like last year. And I call him up. He goes, what holiday is this? 4th of July?
Yeah.
And we just put it in place. And then that's how we made this happen.
See that? That's good.
All because of being a good guy.
As long as you're happy.
So far. I mean, the fact that I got to drive 4 hours to the shop isn't...
Yeah.
But you know what?
You retired.
Exactly. Well, I still kind of work. I went back to it because I got bored.
Yeah.
I don't work like you. Holy jeez. I don't know how you do it.
Me either.
I don't know how you do it.
It's crazy.
My UPS days, it was 60, 70 hours a week.
Oh, I wish.
You were only as good as yesterday. They always threaten to fire you. I survived 25 years.
Yeah. We got maybe 100 guys working for us, 80 guys working. It's like kindergarten class.
No.
And they're all good guys. But everybody has a problem. So we problem solve all day. All day. But you know what, in reality, everybody has to get through life and everybody has
Absolutely.
issues going on. Someone's sick, a parent dying, or some kid's sick.
Well, one of the things I learned at UPS over the years, and even as being a head official, is you need to know who you got to stroke and who you got to need to kick in the butt. Because every situation you can't handle the same with every person.
Yeah. And sometimes you'll have a guy that's driving you crazy.
Yeah.
And just all of a sudden he's great. So you always got to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, because usually nobody's really trying to screw anybody else. I had one guy calling in all the time, oh, my kid's sick. I don't even have a kid.
No.
Yeah. So we sat him down in the office, straightened it all out, and just little things. Everybody's trying to get, what the bottom is, everybody's trying to get through life.
Exactly.
It's not easy.
No.
It's really not. And
there was a driver at Riverhead years ago. He was a menace. He really was a menace. But the guy respected me. He'd do anything for me. It's like, I go, hey, Bub, come here. What's that? Bob and Jim need you to do them a big favor. fact, like 20 guys in your division need a favor. And so he goes, screw them. I says, I need you to do a favor. If you anything, what? On Saturday nights, can you go bowling?
Can you buy a boat?
And he looked at me and says, do you like fixing your car every week and people hating you at the end of the race?
But it doesn't bother some people. Some
He said-
people, they
he
don't.
said, don't bother me.
No. Some guys walk around, you don't like me, whatever.
No. No. What are they talking about? Oh, yes. I kind of ignored the chat room today.
Huh?
I ignored the chat room. But they
I
have really
can't.
nice.
I'm gonna give you credit for seeing that all the way up there.
Well, it's like they put it in big font for me, too. It used to be smaller.
Smaller than that?
Yeah.
I give you credit.
You need glasses.
You're gonna be. No, I got perfect vision.
You can't
Come
see.
on. I can even see the smiley faces up there. I'm trying to make you feel good, Joe.
Oh, okay, thanks. No, you're going to enhance my self-esteem a little bit. You're good, Dave. You're good. You're good. You're good. What is it? 2014, huh? After Daytona.
Yeah.
You're going to call in and tell us? You're going to
Nah.
send the press release?
I hope we win this thing down there. I never drove for a car run, except for one. I didn't win for Carl Rackoff.
Oh, yeah.
I drove his truck for him, and
I remember that.
we tried our best with that, and we just could never get it hooked up. And that's the only guy I drove for. Ambrose, I started first time in a modified one, opening night for him. You know, it was good. Sap third time. That late model deal I had, I forget what was the guy's name from the golf shop.
Oh, Unique Golf, Jim Wishart.
He gave us that late model, went up the mountain, won that 100 lapper first time in it. So many guys who won the first 2 or 3 races. I hope David's happy at the end of the race.
He's usually on, not usually, he's on a lot. Good guy, Jim Wishart.
Yeah,
I don't know
a lot
how
of-
he does it either. I don't know, with the guys he helps and the people he helps.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It really is. Very nice guy. I mean, I can't wait to drive for him.
But, driving, 2014, Daytona. So you'll be able to say you raced at Daytona.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to do that.
I tell you what, we did it last year, and it was great. It was
Yeah.
fun. Just to be there. My father's been taking me there since I was 2 years old, and then to finally make it there and race was just,
And then they took you up to the triangle
that was the best
for
part.
the pictures and stuff.
I had the phone going in there, filming, talking to the old man on the phone. I mean, how could you get any better, you know?
You know, it's and it's kind of funny. I mean, I've worked Daytona before.
Yeah.
I've worked the nationwide races, and I worked some cup stuff. But when it was the modifieds, even though it was on that makeshift
Yeah.
track in the back,
Yep.
it was still friggin' Daytona.
Yes, sir.
And the modifieds, they put on a good show, and I hope they kind of revamped the track a little bit. It was tough to make a turn. I mean, you drove on
yeah.
it. You had to go 120 miles an hour down the straightaway, lock the
stop.
brakes,
Yeah,
turn
turn.
it, and slam the gas again to
Yeah.
get it to turn.
But it was easy. What fun would it be?
Yeah,
I liked
true.
it.
This is true.
I like flat stuff. It's
It's almost like running Charlotte with the modifieds, and they run the
Yeah.
pit road thing.
like
and then-
Atlanta,
Yeah.
kind of like Mountain a little bit, minus the bumps.
It is bumpy there, isn't it? Wow.
Oh Lord,
I want to try racing that place too.
yeah,
That's on my list.
it's good up there. But Daytona's Daytona. I wish it was 2 days. I don't know. You get all. I got a couple of big sponsors coming down there with me, and it's just hard to fit everything into one day. We have the one inspection day. Mm-hmm. It would be nice to have that inspection day, then a practice day, and then a race. And I understand cost effective for the teams to be there only for one day. It does save some money. But just, when you're at Daytona and you can go out with the sponsors and the car owner and make it work and let them find out about the teams and everybody gets along or not get along and see if it's going to. Just a one-day affair, it's hard to blend that all together.
Yeah, because there's a lot that has to happen for you in that one day.
Yes.
I mean, the hardest part is the money part, and I don't really think that's an issue.
No.
It's the other part making it gel.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't ever worked together. Like I said, I don't know if he's going to work with my ideas or vice versa. Mm-hmm. As a guy to hang out with and work on. What I've seen so far, I think it's going to be great.
Right.
He might hate me. I don't know.
Not after I got done talking to him.
Well, I don't know, Joe. My true colors show out when I put the helmet on.
Yeah, I didn't tell him that part.
Oh, you didn't tell me. Ask Johnny Redding. Yeah, another one we drove for, Redding.
Yeah.
It's third time in that car we won.
You won. Yeah, see? You know what I noticed? I don't know if When you say, you don't say I won, you say we won.
Yeah, we always win.
Yeah.
I don't ever win by myself. Never.
No, there's guys that do think that though.
No, I couldn't do it without. No way.
No.
No.
Now, sponsor, you mentioned you got some sponsors going to Daytona. Are you at liberty to say?
Well, we got the Coors Light deal with the Hills, and
Which is always good.
I got the Monster thing still going on, and JDL Environmental, and you know, we have a lot of sponsors that haven't been named yet, really for the tour up north, and trying to get everything worked out. I mean, it's pretty much there.
Right.
It's just the gel factor between me and Dave and everybody, and then we can proceed forward after Daytona.
You running as a Southern mod or a Northern mod at Daytona?
I think as a Southern mod at this point.
Yeah.
But we were going to do some new Smyrna stuff, but I had some business obligations before and after the race, so he's got the Davis kid in there,
Okay.
which is great. And, you know, one step at a time, but we should be, you know, the way it's going right now, we'll be at Caraway on the 9th,
Okay.
and then some other Southern National on the 15th. It's going to be a busy March. So I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
You know, Dave, like Dave said, we'll race as much as you want to race. I mean, he's like me. I kind of feel like, you know, if there's a race going on, we got to go.
We got to go. That's
So
how it
it's,
is.
you know, the whole thing is, once we get through Daytona, the ball starts rolling. You know, I don't think anything's going to stop us too much. You know, and like I said, I love the operation. It looks great.
They're super
The
I remember
knowledge.
the first time I dealt with his mom. It was a Riverhead Tour race. It was 1999. And his mom called Deborah Cromley. Go to the office, gets Deborah. Sweetheart. I love Deborah. And she wanted to know about the motorhome. Where can they put it?
Yeah,
We didn't know what to say. So Deborah refers her to me.
yeah,
I'm in my office at work, and I'll pick up the, hi, this is Sandy Hill. Hi, how you doing? And Deborah warned me, you know.
yeah,
Says, is there a place we could park the motorhome?
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I'm making it up at this point.
Yeah, we'll find a spot.
When you come into the racetrack, you're going to go down that road. You're going to go make a right where the pit gate is. Instead of making a left, make a right, go up,
Yep.
find a spot. There's no reserved spots, just park there.
Yeah.
He calls me Monday, and my admin comes in. There's a Mrs. Hill on the phone. Again, she goes, I want to thank you. That worked out perfect.
Good.
And then over the years, she realized I was that guy.
Oh, there you go.
And we just connected. She was at the World Series at Thompson, and you know, when I went up to her, she goes, "I missed this." She goes, "I miss it already."
Yeah,
You know, but that's what they did their whole life.
I know.
That was Roger's whole life. You know, the dad and
Yeah.
another great guy.
Yep.
I would sit with him afterwards, after the race, sometimes, and have a nice Coors Light with him, and I would talk to him, you know, and I'd ask him. I said, you know, what do you think I should do? I'd ask for his advice on stuff, you know. And I told David, I said, I miss your father. You have no idea. You know, he was one of those guys, I can go in their trailer, shut the door, and we could talk.
Yep.
And I'd ask questions without looking like a fool, you know.
Yep.
Otherwise, there's other teams I go to, do you know Joe Ass? Joe? Come on, there's no need for that crap, you know. But it's a good bunch of people, David. The Hill
Definitely.
family. Hillbilly Racing is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, awesome people. They're like you. It's all about the appearance.
Yeah, that's why kind of
Oh,
it's got to be, you know.
it's all about the appearance.
Yeah.
No nonsense, no drama.
No.
The
we don't
cars
need-
come out looking good every week in and week out. You know?
I tell you, I was impressed when I went down there. But I met him down in Virginia on that side, then I go to North Carolina down 81, and I said to Brian was driving. I said, Brian, where the hell are we going? And we left 12 o'clock at night the first time we went down there, and we got down there like 10 o'clock.
It's like a 10-hour drive. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I drove for about 2 hours. Brian was behind the wheel, so we get down there and beautiful. I mean, you're in the hills back there in the mountains, and it was, you know, it was real nice. And
Whole different world on it.
whole different world. Like, but it was impressive. It was nice people. The store, you know, we were down there for about 2 or 3 hours, and then Brian says, "We're gonna stop and get a hose." I said, "No, we're driving right home now. Come on." We were back home that night at 10 o'clock.
Oh, man.
22 hours, 1,350 miles.
Yeah.
I had to work next day, but I was impressed. It was beautiful. The shop's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just the whole setting. It gives it that the whole atmosphere, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and the shop's beautiful inside, and everything's well kept.
Now, you're going to do some Riverhead stuff in between? Or
Definitely.
That's the plan?
Yeah, definitely. I know, Dave talked about running a couple of the Riverhead shows, and, we didn't go too far into that, but he sounded interested in doing some of that stuff.
Yeah. He's a racer. He wants to go racing.
I know. He might be worse than me.
Yeah, he's a racer.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I got to convince Wade. I want to run the 77 lapper. I just want to do that. It's one of the races I want to do.
Yeah. Some of those, the longer distance races at Riverhead are real good.
Yeah.
You get some other guys coming in, like Justin coming in last year and some other people. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully I make it in if I do that, but it'll be an expensive trip for them.
I know, that boat.
They drive around.
Do they?
Yeah, they drive around. Wade takes the boat because he has the Ram truck, and it's not that expensive, but they bring the hauler.
Yeah.
Taking the boat.
Well, the whole thing, what it is, everything went up. The fuel, everything.
Everything.
I went over with Dave, just the cost. It's hard.
For that, it's got to cost them a good $1,500 just for the fuel and a hauler.
A race. A race.
Yeah.
I give him credit for his dad for so many years supporting him.
Great man. I don't know if you ever met him.
No, to be honest with you, I never did.
Great man. Great.
I always heard about him. Always said, I've seen him, but I never did.
Very soft-spoken, Southern gentleman.
Yeah, that's
just
what
like
I hear.
David. Just like David. It takes a lot to get David riled up, but even then, he's still.
Think I can twist him up?
You probably can.
I'll probably get him. I'll get him. Yeah. We'll get used to each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's all about having fun.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna take a break. We come back. We'll start wrapping up. We'll be back.
Yeah, I never met him.
InRevio.com.
Girls, 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 all have something to say. Some say their emotions get in the way. Some like them big, some like them skinny. Oh, girls, please come this way. We must unite, this is the place. You don't have to show your face. Girls, I'll be a lady of today. So say what you
Hey, we're back. Kind of missing the chat room stuff. They got some good stuff they're talking about. But when you get in the middle of a conversation, it's hard to figure out. I know you can't see that, but
No.
I can see it. I just can't see who's on. But it's all good. It's all good. So Riverhead, so you're gonna run some tour races. You're gonna run some Southern tour races. Hopefully some Northern tour races. Riverhead.
I hope we run more than a few Northern Tour races. We'd like to be full-time up there.
Full-time. Well, we'll know after Daytona.
You'll know after Daytona.
I believe we have a call. I think we do. Let's bring that caller on board. Who do we got?
Oh, no. Hillbilly.
Oh, yeah. Is he on? David, is that you? I used to control the phone, but I didn't know what I was doing. Hey, David, you out there?
This is Derek. It's his son.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Oh, it's good. You?
I'm doing just fine. I got Dave sitting here next to me. We're talking racing, talking about 2014.
Yes, sir.
So looking good.
Yes, sir. We just got the Dave's car scaled and everything.
Oh, yeah. So you guys preparing, you getting ready for Daytona?
Yes, sir. Just got the car scaled and everything.
So you're ready. So if the race was tomorrow, you ready?
Yes, sir.
That's good.
That's
That's
the way we
good.
prepare it.
Now, you don't have to call me sir, because I'm just a regular guy.
Well, I know. It's just a polite way.
I know. And you guys, I'll tell you what, I was telling Dave that you guys always treated me well. Always.
We try.
Yeah, it comes natural. You guys aren't trying. That comes natural. And I'll tell you what, you guys make me feel good, and I'm proud to be a part of that organization because of teams like you. And to think I'll be racing with you guys, should be really interesting in 2014.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, we're doing good. So we got Dave sitting with us, and he's telling us he's getting ready for Daytona. And like I told David, this guy's won in just about, no, not just about, he's won in everything he's driven.
Yeah.
Even his work truck, trying to be the first guy through the toll booth and all of that stuff. He wins in everything. And I'll tell you what, I don't see that changing driving the 79 car. You guys must be pretty excited.
I think he will do a wonderful job.
I do too.
There you go. Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And I was talking to David. I said, to Dave Brigat here, I was like, you guys make that trip 10 hours up to Long Island, up to Stafford, up to Thompson. It's like 15 hours up to New Hampshire. I got to give you guys credit, man. That dedication that you guys have, and to come and do this up here, up north with us, it's just incredible.
Just for him to give us the opportunity to come back on the tour, we're going to come back full blown.
Oh yeah,
That's good. That sounds my way of doing it.
that's how Dave does it. Dave does nothing, halfway. It's when Dave wakes up that race day morning, he's not thinking about just finishing. He's thinking about winning. And in most cases, he could, there's an old saying, your mouth shouldn't write checks, your butt can't cover. When he says he's going to win, he's going to win. And I know that firsthand.
We're going to give him 100% no matter what.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
So you guys pulling out tomorrow or no?
See, it's calling for snow Wednesday.
Yeah.
8 to 10 inches here, and if it snows an inch, the kids are out of school for at least a week.
Wow.
So we're planning on leaving tomorrow so we can get up there.
There you go.
There.
So when are you going to load up tomorrow morning?
Yes.
There you go. Is your father working in that shop?
Do what?
Is your dad down there working?
He is.
There you go.
You guys, that's a full-time job, isn't it?
Yes, sir. We work out here as many hours as it takes.
That's how it has to be. It's funny when know that you and Dave will be together, your team with Dave. And he has the same work ethic. He works all day in his business, and then we were talking offline before. Go to the shop, do another 7 hours.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be right and it's got to look good. And I'll tell you what, week after week, when the 79 hauler would roll in and you guys would roll it out, no matter what happened the race previous, that car comes out showroom condition. So my hat's off to you guys.
we work until we can't do no more. I mean, we're still in here working tonight.
Right. It's all good. It's all good.
We will work until there's nothing done. You know, there's nothing you can do too much on a race car.
Yep.
It's true.
You know, I mean, it comes to tires, to chassis, to anything.
Yep.
I mean, my dad, he works. If he has to, he'll work 70 hours a week plus more.
Nice.
And I don't want to blow him up, but you know he will. He'll do the best he can do. Just like last year with Woody. You know, we had a really good year with him.
Got the chat room asking questions. I can't see it, but now your whole team, is it the same guys? Same bunch of people coming back in 2014?
Yes, sir. It's, everybody's coming back, just like last year and the years before.
Nice, nice. Now, I'm gonna miss Mom. I'm gonna miss Sandra Hill, and she was. I got the opportunity to talk with her at the World Series. Always, you know, I know she cut back a little bit the last couple of years, but always a smile on her face, a hug. How's everything going? You know, it was really nice, and you know, you let her know I said hello and I was asking for her.
Yes, I will. She's doing the same thing as usual, and she's just trying to make it, just like everybody is.
Yeah, just like her. That's what we're all trying to do. Just get by, day to day. If you get by the days turn to weeks.
Goes quick.
It does. And
Really
then the
does.
weeks turn to months, and before you know it, the year's gone.
That's right.
You know. So you know, hopefully we'll be talking in October about championship stuff. You know.
That'd be nice.
Oh, it'll be real
Yes.
nice.
Yes, sir. I really believe that we'll be going for it this year. I mean, that's what we're hoping for, and Granny will be right there with us.
Oh yeah, that show would be nice. Because I'll tell you what, there's, you know, with the driver that's sitting to my left and the team that's sitting down there in North Carolina, that's a good marriage, if you ask me. And I said that to David when I talked to him. I said, this guy wins in everything he drives. And you guys are always top runners. And I think the only ingredient missing was a guy like Dave Brigat. Because you had some good guys, you know, driving for you, Woody and those guys over the years. But you know what? I think this guy's going to be the one that brings the crown home to you. And I'm not saying that because he's sitting right here. I've always talked highly of this guy.
We have only heard good about him, and I believe this year's the year we're fixing to break out, and I believe that he's the one.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah. Dave's a humble guy until he puts that fire suit and helmet on, you know. But you could tell he's all humbled by this.
Yeah.
You know, you could tell. But I'll tell you what, don't let that fool you. Don't let that humbleness fool you.
No. Definitely don't. We'll show you some true colors, buddy.
Yeah. I know Dave. I know him 20 years. And, what a good competitor, good guy, and you know, very helpful to everybody. Now, a lot of people don't know some. There's a lot of people that Mr. Brigat helps that.
Yeah.
It's not publicized. It's.
No, we got to keep that quiet.
You know, it's sometimes it's just a pat on the back or a nod when you walk by, and that's all it takes.
Yeah.
But I wish you guys the best in 2014, and I'll tell you what, I am looking so forward to seeing Dave racing with you guys, but I'm also looking forward to racing with Dave. I never had that opportunity to race with Dave.
Yep.
And I'm going to get to do that for the first time. And I can't describe the excitement that I not only feel for myself, but just, you know, talking to Dave before the show, the excitement in his eyes about this whole 2014. I haven't seen that in a driver in a long time.
Yeah.
And No, it's all good.
It really is, you know.
Uh-huh.
It's been a long time coming, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad to be doing it with these guys down there, and I think it's going to work out real well.
I do too. And they got some good sponsorship, good people. Yeah, I'll tell you what, one of the best car owners on the tour.
Yeah, and I do know that.
You know?
I'll respect that.
Oh, yeah. The crew, I'll tell you what, wrecker or checker, you go past the 79 hole at the end of the night, they're all smiling,
Yep.
having a Coors Light, sometimes putting it back together to get it on the trailer, sometimes just rolling it on because they had a good day, but
Yeah.
it's always smiling, no matter what happens. You know, and as they pull out, they go past the officials' trailer, they beep that horn and give a little
There they
wave.
go.
You know, sometimes some of the teams, they give you the middle finger as they're going. They're telling, you're number one this week, you're number one. But anyway, I appreciate you calling in, and you do me a favor. You say hello to Sandra and David and the guys down there, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at Thompson. I won't be at Daytona, but I'll be at Thompson one way or another.
Yes, sir. I'll
All right.
make sure I tell them, and just make sure Dave knows we're preparing the Daytona car, and we're going to win.
That's
There
what
you
I
go.
want to hear.
From your mouth to God's ears. Thank you so much.
Thanks, bud.
Thank you.
Hey, that was nice.
Yeah.
That was nice. All the way from North Carolina, give us a call in. See, we reach the world. 7.2 billion people we reach here at InRavio.com.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. 7.2
really is.
billion. And, you know, not having a guest like you on tonight is pretty awesome.
Thank you.
You know, it's tough. You know, it's kind of tough during the season to get guests on, but we're making some headway. We're getting
Yeah.
some people. I mean, Bert Myers called in once from North Carolina, which was pretty nice. We
Yep.
Skyped in with my crew chief a couple of weeks ago.
There you go.
We got a lot of good stuff going on here at
Yeah.
InRavio, and coming on 3 years that we're doing
Yeah.
this.
I never thought it was like this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad I came down.
Isn't that
It's-
studio cool? Look at this. Man. This is
I'm telling you, this guy's got it all taken care of. We just got to move that screen a little closer so you can see it. We'll be good. We'll get Joe some thicker glasses.
I know even with my glasses I can't see them. But no, it's all good. And
Yeah.
I was trying to figure it out the other day that my anniversaries, I do an anniversary show. You think I'm like Jay Leno or something. I do an anniversary show. I invite people. We have cake and coffee. It's nice. And I think my anniversary show will be show number 150.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of shows. And I was only going to do this for a little while.
Yeah. That's
tried,
like going
like-
racing for a little while.
Yeah, really. Well, it is a little while. In the big scheme of things, you know. But yeah, I was just
And this is every week.
every Monday, 7 to 9.
Oh.
InRavio.com. And the shows are archived. For those who don't know that, the shows, you can go to InRavio.com and look at our archive shows, and they're on there forever.
Nice.
And some of them are pieced apart and put on YouTube, and you know, some of them are pretty funny. Some of them that one person pieced on, but not an InRavio person, but another person. I don't even know how they did it. They put some stupid stuff on, but
That's all right.
that's it. You know.
You gotta let everybody feel like a hero once in a while.
Some people liked it,
Yeah.
some people liked it. But this is what we do at InRavio.com, and we have a full assortment of shows. In fact, after me, coming up at the 9 o'clock hour is Metal Maniacs, a good bunch of guys, and they put on a pretty good show. And whether you're into metal, heavy metal stuff or not, it's interesting to watch. Now, I don't get to watch them because I drive home, and
Yeah.
it takes me a good 45 minutes to head back west, into the Babylon Deer Park area. So, when I lived in Sayville, it wasn't too bad. It was
Wasn't
like
bad,
20
right?
No, it was like 20 minutes. I didn't have to go through the Erkdom marriage. I didn't have to just coming here. When I told you like 6:45, I was saying, I hope I'm there at 6:45.
I actually got here early. I got here at 6:40. I've never been on time before. Things are coming together for me.
It's a whole different thing, 2014.
Yeah.
No. But Dave, again, I want to thank you. I know you're
No.
a busy guy. I know you got a business to run. You got a race team to run. You're building race cars, and you're working on some other deals. But I appreciate you coming down.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a long time coming. I know I tried to have you on a couple of
I
times.
think I canceled twice.
Yeah.
I'm always busy. There's always things going on, but you know what? I'm trying to get everything in all my ducks lined up this year, and I didn't want to miss out on this. And I owe it to David Hill for the deal down at Daytona this year, and then the following races. And my hat's off to those guys that let me drive.
There you go. But again, I thank you, and I wish you luck in 2014.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for the past help that that you've given me, and,
No,
and when
no
my
problem.
daughter was racing, I didn't forget that stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's that big family, you know.
It's.
As much at times we all want to kill each other.
Yeah.
You know that
I
never
know.
happens.
I went out to your shop. I did you a little favor, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I was impressed with your operation, and I was pleasantly surprised when I got to the racetrack that Saturday
Yeah.
night, and we thank you.
Yeah,
You
no
know, we
problem.
don't forget stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and Dave knows what he did, and those are the things you never forget. But anyway, we're gonna wrap it up. I think we went over like a minute. Metal Maniac guys is standing
There you go.
above me, waiting and waving. They're like, Joe, please leave. We got a show to put on.
And we'll get that announcement after Daytona.
That,
Maybe we'll even do it Daytona after the race.
There you go. You got it. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for taking the time out of your busy schedule to watch and listen to us talk racing. I appreciate that. It's definitely, I feel blessed to have you guys and gals out there in the chat room, and then have guests like Dave here. So anyway, wherever your endeavors are going to bring you this weekend, I am heading up to the race shop this Saturday to work with Wade and do some stuff and get dirty, actually. But I want to hope everybody has a safe week. I want to make sure everybody does what they have to do, and be safe. Tell somebody you love them. God bless you all. Good night.
Good night.